but just a bright man. I'd love to have been like Lou Boudreau. He was just so into the game and understanding the game, and he felt for the game. He understood the players, the park, the schedule, and just knew a lot about the game. He didn't brag about it, but he didn't talk about it. He didn't get a lot of publicity about it, but he knew a lot about the game.
It was just interesting all that time. He went through so much above and beyond just the World Series and the playing baseball. And those were neat stories.
Lou Boudreau grew up in Harvey, Illinois. All throughout his childhood, he played basketball and baseball, which he continued in high school at Thornton Township. Not only did he excel at baseball, but led the Flying Clouds basketball team to 3 state championships. He was the first player in Illinois history to compete in 3 state basketball championships in a row. Lou continued his superior caliber of play at the University of Illinois, where in 1937 he led both the Illini basketball and baseball teams to Big Ten championships.
He played shortstop, and I played shortstop, and he knew a lot about that. He won records for playing shortstop, the best shortstop in the league at that time. And then he became a manager at 25 years old. Was the first young manager in baseball. Smart, running the team, pinch hitting. He got more doubles than anybody at 1 year as a pinch hitter, or as a player rather. Very smart man, bright man. He understood the game, he understood the players, he understood the writers, he understood the broadcasting part of it. Just a wonderful, wonderful individual and a smart baseball man. I'd like to have been like him, you know, if I ever managed, because he knew a lot about the game, the players, and the teams that he was playing against.
Lou then joined the WGN Sports Broadcasting team to be the color commentator of WGN Radio's broadcasts for Cubs games, a relationship that would last 30 years. In 1970, Lou was awarded baseball's ultimate honor, inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. That same year, the Cleveland Indians retired Lou's number 5, making Lou only one of 6 Indian players to ever have their numbers retired.
And the biggest thing he ever did for me, before I went in the Hall of Fame, he interviewed me, and he was sitting there talking, looked me in the eye, and he said, "Ernie, being in the Hall of Fame is a special thing, and you'll be real busy doing a lot of things. Some of them you don't want to do, but you have to do them." And I thanked him for that. He really gave me a lot of good advice about being in the Hall of Fame. And that year, I made 77 speeches in the Chicago area. The New York Times wrote about me, that I made more speeches than any athlete had ever made. But Lou Boudreau had given me all the advice about being in that position, because he was elected to the Hall of Fame and he understood.
Back when my dad played, they didn't make money back then like they do now. In fact, the majority of the players had another job in the off season when the baseball season ended. But to hear the stories that they would tell were the fascinating parts. It was when it was really a game and they enjoyed it, and that's what he enjoyed.
Hi, Vince Lloyd.
And Lou Boudreau.
With season's greeting.
This season, why not put the Cubs in someone's stocking?
Lou.
You can try to pitch a hitter a certain way, but when you're in trouble and a little tired, as Darlin is, he might make a mistake. Here's the pitch. He did. There's a drive way back. It might be. It could be. It is. Holy cow. The Cubs are out in front.
He met my mom in high school, and their relationship, they were married for 55 years. She followed him everywhere. I remember as a kid growing up when he would be announcing the Cub games, she would have the TV on watching the game, but the volume would be down and the radio would be on so she could hear him do the game and watch the game. So she really kept an eye on him, on what he was doing. She was a big supporter not only of the family, obviously, but of him as well. It was very hard on him after she passed, and I think that took a little bit of him, and his health started to deteriorate as well, ultimately having a heart attack. But it was very tough on him after she passed, and I think it was just almost to where, as it seems to go in life, when your partner or your best friend goes, it takes a little bit with you, and I think that just kind of wore on him a little bit. And you know, as his health deteriorated, I think he just said, "I'm going to go join you," and he did.
He always would give autographs if people would come up to him. He was always very easy to reach. He was thoughtful always, and always had taken the time for whoever wanted to talk.
You know, as in retrospect, now that I understand more and growing up, to see what he has accomplished and what he's done in his life.
I really love my grandpa. He seemed like he would have been a great person. I just wish I would have been able to spend more time with him.
I've got 3 kids, all of whom play sports, and my oldest daughter wanted to be number 5. My middle daughter wanted to be number 5. And when Jake played baseball, he wanted to be number 5. So I think it's neat that they wanted to be number 5. And I think that shows a little bit of respect. And although they didn't get a chance to meet and talk with him as much as both they and I would have liked them to, I think they know from other people, they know from the readings, from the papers, from some of the memorabilia that I have, what he has accomplished, what he's done, what he meant to the game. And I think it's neat that they want to continue that and wear number 5 in more or less in his honor.
Well, just I miss him. I just miss him a lot. I mean, I go to Wrigley Field and take a look upstairs at the press box and not see him. See him coming on the field and doing interviews. I just followed his life and his career and just being around him. And he was a great basketball player as well. So I really miss seeing him, being around him, and just listen to him talk about the game and interview players and ask them questions about how they played and all that. I really miss him a lot. He was a wonderful man, and I'd love to have been like Lou Boudreau.